All right. Damn, I wish I planted that. You have a good one. Do you want to go first?
I will. Damn, I wish I planted that is two plants, one Leslie, one me, that we are probably growing and that you may see in a garden and think at this time of year, I wish I planted that. So you put it on the master list, and then the next sort of planting season, which for us is probably going to be September here, maybe the rains will get started and make things easier. That's when you go down and get that plant or get it ordered and get going so that you have something at this time of year. That's how we get ideas. So we've got a couple. Mine is the rice paper plant this week, Tetrapanax papyrifer. And I had told Leslie that I was going to look for a native in my garden and use a native because we've been going heavy Asian lately. And you know what? There are a few. There's a eupatorium and there's a lot of stuff that's going, but I just kept walking past this Tetrapanax and thinking, this is just such a great foliage plant. And at the end of August, the garden is feeling a little tired. For me, the tropicals really, really push a lot of energy into the garden. Tetrapanax is a plant that I don't have to dig up and I can use, it looks very tropical. It's very strong. It's a palmate leaf. It's green with almost a golden underside. And it has very hairy leaves, hairy stems, can get very tall depending on the cultivars. I think steroidal giant can get up to about 12 feet tall if you let it. It will flower if you are in the right zone. So the zone hardiness on this plant is going to disappoint some of you because it really is zone 6B to I think 10. What do I have? 11. It is root hardy in that 6B, 7A, 7B. And if you're in A, you will have it flower for you. Those stems won't die down to the ground. I use it as a foliage plant. It dies down to the ground every year and then it comes back up and I never have flowers on it. I have wrapped the stems before and put leaves down in a sort of a cage around it, but I only did that halfway. Because I got distracted with something else that fall and I ended up keeping it living up to that point and then it just sent another stem up from that point which didn't flower. So I got to do better on that. Do better, be better, Marianne.
Questions.
Anyway, yes. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, questions. Miss Harris, you in the back.
Because it's a hairy stem, do deer leave it alone?
Yeah, deer don't touch this bad boy. So that's one of the great things about it. But the hairy stems have a caveat. They have a health and safety warning.
Uh-oh.
Those hairs, you can brush them off with your finger when you grab a stem and they disperse into the air. And if you breathe them in, they can really cause you to start coughing for the next 3 hours. And, you know, if somebody has lung issues, it would be a problem. Whenever I'm working with Tetrapanax, I usually put a mask on, just,
Oh, wow.
you know, just extra safety.
We all have them in our homes. Thank you, pandemic.
We do. Yeah. Thank you, COVID. Or what I'll do is like get myself jazzed up, take a deep breath, go in, cut what I need to cut, take it out and throw it down and then just stand there and then I'll go and do it again if I don't have a mask with me. But it really is such a great plant. It does sucker a lot. It suckers a lot. Here's the key with that. Make sure you get those suckers up when they're small. And they're like nothing, you know, it's not like it's covers everything with suckers. It's just one comes up here, one comes up there, and it's the work of a second.
So you can pull, you don't have to dig.
You don't have to dig the suckers, no, but you will if they start to put down their own roots and in a, you know, within a year or so, and then you'll have a clump.
Okay. Another question. Frost will knock down those leaves, and I can't imagine that wouldn't be sort of a significant issue in terms of mulch. Do you just leave them in place, or do you have to carry them away because they're so big and so formidable?
They get a little bit ugly once the freezes come in because they can actually, that growing point, it's very cool looking and it can sort of handle a fair amount of frost. But the leaves are on these very long petioles. I'm showing them for the camera here. And those will just sort of fall down to the stem. And so it becomes a bit of a liability and you want to debrown the garden. And so that's when I'll get my pruning saw and I cut it down low to the ground. I don't do extra mulch unless there's mulch available and it's there. But I'm in 6B, 7A. I wonder if you could push this plant a little bit into 6A. It's possible. So there
Or
you go. It's a beautiful foliage plant. Very, very strong. Just keep an eye on those suckers and pull them out when you see them. And it's pretty nice behind like a limelight or something that's white and gorgeous. And it just looks very cool.
that is beautiful. I can't wait to see the photographs on YouTube. And my plant is is a hydrangea, and it seems crazy to be talking about hydrangea in mid to late August when you're hearing this, but this one is a very late bloomer, and it's a serrata, so that means it's sort of like a macrophylla, but it's a mountain hydrangea. It's similar to a macrophylla in that it blooms on old wood, so you don't want to go pruning that bad boy in the winter. It also is kind of small, kind of compact. Macrophyllas are generally bigger. They generally have wider leaves, but a serrata is a cool little plant. This Bluebird cultivar it actually got the award of garden merit by the Royal Horticultural Society.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and I can't believe
I
it.
need
And
to read the notes.
it was it was recommended to me by my friend Abby, who took over my business 4 years ago. And she had discovered it and planted it in a few gardens. And she said, "Hey, we're making an order from Colesville Nursery near Richmond, is where I was doing most of my business." She continues to use them a lot. It's a great nursery. And she said, "They stock this Bluebird hydrangea serrata, and you need one." And I'm like, "Okay." And so I took some photographs of it. And because I took them in very early days of August, it's still in bud. And the bud is so cool. It's like a peony. It's full of promise. It's a beautiful little bud. And then it won't even bloom for a couple more weeks. It's a real true blue unless you have more alkaline soil, in which case you might get pink. I get blue, which I'm very happy about. Hydrangea serrata, Bluebird. It's a good one. I recommend it highly.
The deer have taken the edge off of my bluebird. For
Oh,
me, I have two of them. It's very interesting how soil it can be so different. I had one on one side, 15 feet away. I had another. One was pink, one was blue because
cool.
of the soil. Yeah.
Yeah.
And now that you've told me it won an AGM, I've suddenly got new respect for it. How snobby is that? Now that it had an AGM, well, now I like it again.
All right, y'all. I think we've done it. And thank you again for listening. Follow us on wherever you want to follow us. We'd love to be followed.